Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Alright? Let me know how the audio is so we can have good audio and whatnot. What's good? Greetings, good evening, and all that good shit. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna have a conversation tonight. We're gonna keep it respectful, you know. This is gonna be a history lesson for all of my young whippersnappers. You know, we're gonna learn some shit today, and I just hope that nobody takes anything personal. My disclaimer before I even begin is that yes, I am an East Coast nigga. You know, Brooklyn, Flatbush stand up. But before being a Brooklyn, New York City, you know, East Coast legend, before all of that, I'm a connoisseur. I'm a fan of. I'm a listener of. And I'm a product of what they call hip hop. All right? Shout out to Daryl Boston in the building, the OG. What up? I'm a product of the culture that they call hip hop. Hold on, let me wipe these slims off. We need to be in 4K. This shit is only in 2K. There you go. Yeah, so I'm a product of this shit. You know? Quiet as kept. I consume music. I grew up on jazz. I also grew up on dance hall music, what they call reggae, right? I also grew up on soul music. I also grew up on blues music, okay? Not rhythm and blues, niggas. Blues, okay? Blues, my nigga. Like real blues. Like, so, thanks to my dad, I consider myself a well-rounded connoisseur of black culture, both FBA and non-FBA. My pops made sure that we were surrounded by music. So I know what music is. You understand? I know the heights of music. I know what it's supposed to sound like. I know what it's supposed to feel like. And I'm not saying that because I'm giving you my report card. I'm giving you my disclaimer. You know what I mean? Yeah, B.B. King and all of them. You know what I mean? That Memphis sound, that blues, that down bottom shit. You know what I mean? My father would play blues on a Sunday, drinking the Jack Daniels, reading the New York Times. You know, and he didn't want no rap played in his house. I come from that era. I'm born in 1975. I'm proud to say that shit. For all of you retarded ass young niggas who be trying to act like being experienced and being a fucking being lit at this age is something. I don't know what y'all niggas is going through in your life and whatnot, but you should want to make it to near 50 and be this fucking lit, nigga. You should want to make it to almost 50 and be relevant in life. You should want to make it, like, you niggas are not going to make me feel ashamed for making it this far, for surviving the fucking 90s when you niggas can't even survive the 2020s. You niggas was, you got folded up by the police since Trayvon Martin got bodied. You niggas can't have a conversation with me. I don't want to talk to you niggas. Real talk, like, let's be clear. I'm here to teach niggas something, but you niggas can't sit with us. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the fuck is you talking about? We come from an era where shit was really real, and I'm not trying to sit here. I don't have to explain myself because It is what it is. Go listen to them rappers that you niggas, or go listen to them podcasts. The OG niggas will let you know. Go listen to Mecca Audio and them niggas that just came home from doing 30 years. The streets will let you know how real the streets was. It's not my job to scare you niggas, because obviously that's not what, it is what it is. We live through it. We don't have to tell anybody anything. It is what it is. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, nigga, crack era, dark ages. Like, nigga, it's not nothing to be proud of, but I gotta correct some shit about history, because once again, motherfuckers is giving me, they trying to teach, you niggas is on the internet trying to teach us hip hop history from a biased perspective. A lot of you niggas is niggas that we used to hang out with that got killed or went to jail. Y'all, they brother's brother. You're not even, the brother got killed or locked up later on when he came outside. You're his brother or you're his son. You're like fourth generation, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? Just get the information right. Because once again, niggas is giving us these sanitized versions of our history from VH1 perspective, MTV, and all of these other fucking brands. This has nothing to do with real life. It has nothing to do with real life. You need to know what real life is. Real life is not that shit that MTV and VH1 and Viacom and the fucking Google is selling you. You know, I'm realizing how flawed our generations are, because you niggas is basing your history off of Lifetime documentaries. That's not real. Okay? NWA movie, that was not real. I thought we was in agreement that we was just enjoying some fucking entertainment. When Special Ed got on the Drink Champs, right? Special Ed, who came before NWA, right? So niggas would be like, oh, he mad because NWA did. No, you retarded nigga. He's telling the truth. Why would a grown man with a legacy get on a fucking program and lie in front of the world? What does he have to? He's not lying. He's not lying when he says what he's saying. He's speaking his truth. But here comes niggas that was born in the year 2003. He's telling you about 1992, 91, and 1990. And niggas that was born in 2003, niggas that was born in 2020 is on the internet talking about, nah, that nigga's capping. How the fuck do you know, nigga? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Who do you get your information from? Who's your OGs? Like, where's your parents at? You need to go and talk to them. Because you have this impression you don't even know what the fuck happened. Okay? Because what happened is not talked about in culture. We don't talk about what really happened. We glorify the shit that happened. This whole shit is kind of dysfunctional. There's a lot of culprits that sold the culture out, that's on TV living it up. And nobody says anything. Nobody holds them accountable. Nobody says, nah, you a fuck nigga and you was on fuck shit and you helped usher in fuckery. And you niggas was sitting on laps of these small hats and you sold us out. And y'all don't even have pieces of silver and gold to show for that. You understand? That's the sad part. NWA sold niggas out and they don't got nothing to show for it. The only nigga who got away with anything was Dr. fucking Dre. He's the only one that you could say came out of that situation after they sold our people out. He's the only one that came out of that situation with something, with his soul missing, right? Because you know what Tupac said about him. He's the nigga who was wearing eyeliners and makeup and shit before he became NWA. You niggas want me to believe that you trying to say that this was the Gangster group? Ice Cube left NWA. Ice Cube said fuck NWA. Ice Cube made no Vaseline. Ice Cube took his pen with him. That's when NWA fell off. Okay? Let's not say Ice Cube NWA, because that's not what I'm talking about. when Ice Cube was with NWA, that's not the group that I'm talking. I'm not shitting on that group. I'm not defecating on NWA with Ice Cube. NWA with Ice Cube is one of the greatest groups ever. Hands down. These niggas was on the fucking road to knock Run DMC off that pedestal. Niggas is throwing Outkast's name as the greatest group. No disrespect to them, but it's out of default. It's because Ice Cube took his fucking pen. Okay? He was the ghostwriter. And when he was ghostwriting for NWA, he had niggas from New York and other places looking at LA saying, oh, the legacy of the Panthers is still alive. We got some fucking hope over there on the West Coast because these niggas is saying fuck the police. We over here wearing Malcolm X medallions. We on our fight the power shit. These niggas is saying fuck the police. That's my air life. I don't care if they got Jerry curls. You know, niggas forgave them for that. So Ice Cube was turning NWA into the West Coast public enemy. All of you young niggas, did you remember that? Did your fucking uncle tell you that part? Yeah. That was the NWA. They were calling them public enemy. So what happened? How did they go from being public enemy to being the most coon-tastic sellout group on the fucking face of the earth? How, Sway? Do y'all have the answer? Do you know what happened? Were you fucking there? You know what I'm saying? Could you unpack this shit for us? Okay? Because what you don't realize and what the movie didn't show you, right? Or what nobody's really alluding to is that when Fight the Power came out, when Fuck the Police came out, okay? When Express Yourself, do what you do, right? This Video Music Box days, this Ralph McDaniels era. You niggas didn't even know what the fuck Video Music Box was. Stop talking to me. No disrespect, but the fuck out of here. You don't even know who Ralph McDaniels is. When I said Video Music Box on Instagram, niggas said The Box. That's when I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. You niggas should be really, like, I didn't realize I was in fucking school to teach niggas about regular history. But you would be like, I don't need to know that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, the fuck you do. How you gonna belong to something that you don't know nothing about? What are you talking about? You niggas just wait for documentaries to teach you and whatnot. No, nigga, you need to learn something. This is a culture that you said is you. I was 50. It's my shit. Niggas is biting on it. That you worried about people in Japan taking your culture, but you don't even fucking know the correct history. You don't even know the proper timeline of your culture. And you niggas were it ain't even that old. It ain't even that old. So anyway, going back to what I'm talking about, because I'm sure that it's a few niggas that's listening and still touched, and they like, what does he mean with Ice Cube? Let me break it down for you. They came out with a group called NWA, Niggas with Attitudes, right? This is before the riots, right? This is before LA turned up. This is early gangland. We were exposed to gang culture by the way of Ice-T, who's a New York nigga who went to he was down with Africa Bambaataa and these niggas. And he took his light-skinned pimpology to the West Coast, right? Where that shit is accepted. They don't do pimpery and like that. We don't pimp our women out in New York like that. That wasn't a culture on the East Coast. We're not proud to be pimps. You know what I'm saying? It's not what we do. We rob niggas. You understand? We were robbing white folk. Fuck is you saying? That's what we were doing. We was on some criminal. We were criminal minded. You understand? We were criminal minded, and we was out there taking money from white folks in New York City, most notably right there in Manhattan. Fuck is you saying? And of course, niggas was robbing each other, but we wasn't pimping our women, bro. It's not what we do. Okay. So anyway. This nigga goes and he starts some pimp shit and he starts pushing that gang shit, and then the fucking song Colors is on the soundtrack of the movie Colors, right? Which was, when you look back on it, that's a horrible movie. It's shot horribly. The story was ass. You know what I mean? The acting is ass. When we were seeing it as young, impressionable fucking teenagers, niggas had pimples and shit. We were going through puberty. We didn't know what the fuck we wanted. We were going with anything anti-establishment. We just know that we hated the European. We did not like, we was aware. We were woke in 1990. What the fuck happened? I keep telling niggas this. We had African medallions, nigga. We was the King Kongs of consciousness all the way back then. Khalid Muhammad was alive. Dr. York was alive, talking his shit. Farrakhan was talking his shit. Nigga, we had streams of consciousness. We was representing Malcolm X with the X medallions and the X hats. We was aware of who the fucking European was, bro. Niggas was woke, bro. What the fuck happened? I'll tell you what happened. NWA, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. Now, this is what happened at Def Jam. Liar Cohen and Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons is the sellout. Okay? Russell Simmons is a sellout. Russell Simmons sold out the conscious movement in New York. Russell Simmons and Liar Cohen was like, get all of that God body shit the fuck out of here. They had white boys like Third Base, Gas Face. Yeah, Uncle Luke too. We'll get to Uncle Luke. Puff Daddy is too early for Puff Daddy. We're going all the way back. Puff Daddy comes a little bit later, like 93, 92. We're talking about when hip hop was first coming through, right? So we're talking the golden era, that on the heels of the golden era, 88, 89. Run DMC. Run is that nigga Russell Simmons' brother, right? That's fucking Joe Simmons. That's his talk. Joe Simmons, that's Russell Simmons' brother. So Russell Simmons was pushing Run DMC and LL Cool J, right? Look at these artists. When you hear these artists, look at the image and look at what they rapping about and look at how they were marketed to mainstream America as the non-political, right? Non-political, non-threatening, sanitized versions of what Def Jam was pushing as the commercialized new rappers. They got rid of the niggas that was talking about God body shit. They got rid of niggas that was identifying themselves as God and calling white people devils. They got rid of all of that shit. The only niggas that they held on to was Public Enemy. And when Professor Griff tells you how they removed him out of the group, then you realize that they also got compromised, right? But all of these niggas that Russell was pushing in the new version of Def Jam after Rick Rubin left. Now I'm going to get to Rick Rubin in a minute. Public Enemy, they were sort of on a back burner. You had Slick Rick, right? LL Cool J, the Beastie Boys, a group of white boys who I was like, who the fuck signed them? And where the fuck did they come from? And why are niggas acting like these niggas got bars? Like, there was a lot of hoopla around the Beastie Boys. And I was like, this shit is Weird Al Yankovic, right? Like, this is part of the Weird Al Yankovic shit. Like, nobody's taking them serious, are they? And niggas was, I don't know what they was doing to this day. I don't know. But that's what the fuck they were pushing over at Def Jam. Rick Rubin leaves Def Jam, right? He does a ritual. He puts Def Jam in a casket. He goes all the way to the West Coast and he forms a record label called Def America. Do you know who his first artist is? His first artist is Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, right? So we're talking about the commercialization of the music. This is when Yo MTV Raps is coming up. Yo MTV Raps replaces Video Music Box. Yo MTV Raps was the commercialization of rap. Let's just leave it, let's just put it where it is. It's the commercialization of motherfucking rap, right? So, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. Young MC. motherfucking MC Hammer, right? This is all West Coast shit coming out, but it's all commercialized buffoonery, schoonery. It's not bars. It's not bars. Get the fuck out of here with that. We was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, that was rap. That's Tone Loc. Let's do it, Tone Loc. Motherfucking Baby Got Back, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Niggas was like, what the fuck is that? That was the version of fucking the minstrel show at that point. That's gimmick rap. That's the beginning of fucking ringtone rap. That's what that is in hindsight. That's the minstrel show. Niggas was giving that the gas face, right? Sir Mix-a-Lot is a real nigga, bro. Get the fuck off of my live with that real nigga shit. I could give a fuck about any real nigga activity. I don't give a fuck about real nigga. I'm just giving you the history of what these white folks did with our people. Vanilla Ice, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Young MC, motherfucking MC Hammer, nigga. That is the commercialization of hip-hop. That is the shit that when it went wrong. Stop playing with me. Yeah, Schoolie D was the first gangster rapper. When we had our gangster rappers, we got Kool Mo D. No, not Kool Mo D. Kool Mo D was smoking niggas. We got Kool G Rap, Schoolie D. We got my niggas in Philadelphia that killed the police. Cool seeing them. Right? But as with everything, we had our gangsters. But them niggas was not commercialized. They were not on the coon. They were not being commercialized. They were not being dangled. They were not being exploited by small hats who were using these niggas as cartoonish, somewhat caricatures. You understand what that means? Caricatures, right? Pinocchio. That's not how they have my niggas. They didn't have my nigga Kool G Rap like a fucking Pinocchio. They wasn't pulling strings on my niggas. Kool G Rap was affiliated with the real gangsters. Okay? They had the niggas from Harlem that was affiliated with AZ and Alpo and all of them. Mob style. They was really killing shit. You understand? But that was the exception and not the rule. Of course we had gangsters. Of course we had our underworld. Of course we had mob style and shit like that. We wasn't pushing them niggas to the front. We wasn't pushing them niggas to represent New York like that. It was something that, you know, nigga, when you eat a 7-course meal, that's part of the meal. That's part of the meal. You know? It's part of the meal. That wasn't mainstream. What happened, you don't understand. When I'm talking about with NWA, right, and not with Ice Cube, this happened after he left. He made a song called No Vaseline. He told you bird ass niggas what was up with NWA. So anybody on my timeline talking about, oh, I was listening to NWA, you a bird. You a bird. You a bird ass nigga. If you listen to NWA after Ice Cube, when everybody went with Ice Cube, who was on Real Time, you just a bird ass nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Thanks for exposing yourself, nigga. But real niggas was not tapped into that. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Oh, you young niggas who was in the fucking crib and whatnot. You was in your daddy's nutsack. Don't be repeating the bird ass shit that these niggas be saying, because you're going to look stupid to people who know. We're going to look at you like, oh, you a lame. So Ice Cube was the ghostwriter of most of these niggas on NWA when they first came out. So if they sound spicy, it's because Ice Cube got him like that. When he he took his fucking pen with him. Okay? He took his pen with him. So after he left with his pen, real ones such as myself was like, oh, we didn't even know it was that deep with the ghostwriting. Because back then, nobody respected a ghostwriter. Since y'all know so much, do you remember that part? Nigga, that you couldn't just outwardly admit that you was a ghostwriter? If you know so much, niggas, did you remember that? Okay? The fact that he exposed it, he was writing for niggas, we was really done with them. Like, oh, nah, we're done. Like, y'all niggas wasn't writing that hot flames that y'all wasn't writing that shit. That wasn't you the whole time. So then Ice Cube left them niggas all flat on their face. He made the biggest diss track of that time. He made the biggest diss track of that time called No Vaseline. And we was finished with them. We was done with NWA. They were fucking jokes to us. Okay? It's not an East Coast thing. It's not a down South thing. It's not a West Coast thing. It's not a Midwest thing. It's a hip hop thing. Okay? If you had a fucking tape deck, nigga, you was in the network. You was down with the squad. Niggas wasn't hating on where you lived at. That's some corny shit that you weird ass niggas be bringing to the internet. Nobody give the fuck about that. There was no East Coast, West Coast war. There was no, oh, the South got something to say. Well, then say it, nigga. Ain't nobody stopping you niggas from saying nothing. Say it. The fuck? Nobody was in the way of none of you niggas. You just couldn't get signed to these small hats that was out here raping niggas. They didn't want you niggas. But nobody was hating on you niggas. Get your bars up. That's the only requirement. Nigga, spit something. Nobody gave a fuck about all of that shit. Nigga got you. Why even get, yo, the South got something to say. Say it then. Cause niggas is saying shit. Like, nobody say it. But yeah, Cube aired them niggas out and got the fuck up out of there, came to New York and made 4 classics. No, 3. America's Most Wanted, Kill at Will, and Death Certificate. Right? Brought all of his the consciousness left with him. You could tell from his pen. Because all of his solo albums showed that he was the one, he was the real brains behind it. He was the brains behind it. He was the real pen. He got with Keith Shockley, Bomb Squad, and them niggas went stupid. Red Pill, you don't fuck with 3 Stacks? Of course I fuck with 3 Stacks. Did it appear? I just said that he got up there and said that the South has something to say, and I said, nigga, say it. I fuck with him, and he said what he needed to be said. I don't want to hear nobody telling me that they got something to say. Do it. Then we could talk. And he did it. So Ice Cube was that nigga. DOC is that nigga too. And he lost his voice and whatnot. But DOC is that nigga. He always will be one. Ice Cube was him. Back in those days, Ice Cube, you know, so when people bring up, was Ice Cube a storyteller than Biggie and whatnot? Once again, people who wasn't there would be like, how could they compare the nigga from Are We There Yet? Or the Big 3? How could they compare him to Biggie? The blasphemy. Once, nigga, you needed to be there. You needed to be there. Your uncle and your cousins and them, they can't paint the picture. It's one thing. It's almost like if you climb a mountain and you telling a nigga what it was to climb the mountain versus if a nigga just go and climb the mountain. I can't tell you I don't even know what the fuck was going on back in those days. There was so much shit going on, nigga. I'm a little nigga. I just know the feeling. I know the feeling. It's a feeling that you can't duplicate these days. It's an energy. It was a presence. It was just being in the moment. It was different. I mean, maybe because I only speak English, I can't express my feelings the proper way. Maybe if we was speaking in clicks and whatnot, you niggas could feel me, but the shit was different. Anyway, long story short, NWA came out after Ice Cube left with one of the worst albums that I've ever heard in my life. And when I'm saying is, what made it the worst is the heights at which they fell off. The heights at which they fell off. Okay? Imagine following a group where all of the artists, MC Ren, RBX, Cube, Eazy-E, they was all barred up when Cube was writing for niggas. They was all barred up. They was spitting. Then Cube leaves, And then they put out their next project and it's trash. And they talking about shit like raping women. And they talking about shit like die nigga die. That's where all of that die nigga die. Like all of that CB4 ass niggas, right? I mean Ice Cube is CB4 too. That's who Chris Rock was Ice Cube. This nigga was in college, y'all. He's an intellect. You understand? O'Shea Jackson was not who the fuck he was saying he was. But neither was Christopher Wallace. You know? So, you know, these niggas are artists. I don't need Ice Cube to be a serial killer. I don't need him to be NBA Youngboy or King Von to believe in what the fuck he was writing. I didn't need that. Because that wasn't what was going on back in the days for all the young niggas that think that rappers was really out there killing shit. And the only thing that they was killing was them babies. The day after was that shit. They was having a lot of abortions. That's the only thing they was killing was them babies. Because that was about it. You know? So, NWA was being controlled by Jerry Heller and Jimmy Iovine at Interscope. NWA, who got aired out by Ice Cube for being fuckboys to the small hats, even became more fuckboys after he left and they got bodied in that battle and whatnot. They got dissed by Ice Cube and they never responded, right? Because they didn't have nothing to say back to him. So, NWA, because of the fact that they allowed themselves to be compromised to such a degree, right? The compromising, this is one of the biggest groups in hip hop. And they got compromised to the fact that when you listen to the lyrics, you said to yourself, this is not lyrics that is, these are hurt egos. These are damaged egos. These are damaged egos. These are not grown men rapping right now. These are little fucking boys. You understand? These are little fucking boys who are taking out their anger and their angst on their community. The levels and the notches of self-hate went up a few degrees after this nigga did what he did to them. Jerry Heller, when you do your research on Jerry Heller, young niggas, right? When you do your research on who Jerry Heller was, who he was affiliated with, the ADL and all of these other people, when you find out who the fuck Jerry Heller was and who he was connected to, then you'll understand the severity of this bitch ass group called NWA and what the fuck they brought to hip hop and what they brought to the black community. Yes, they were selling crack before NWA came out. New York City was the murder capital, but point to an artist in the year 1990 who was in the front of the pack, who was talking about kill more niggas, sell more crack, shoot more niggas, right? That did eventually come along. I mean, that did eventually happen. But they was influenced by NWA, okay? Because songs like Self-Destruction was out. You understand? New York was the murder capital in 1990. And niggas was talking about not selling crack, not killing each other. Yeah, you had gangsters and niggas had bars and whatnot. But gangster culture and that real negative, that shit came from the Jerry Heller's NWA. And then that shit trickled down into the rest of the quote unquote rap industry or the rap culture or hip hop movements and whatnot. Okay, fuck Eazy-E being on the song All in the Same Gang. We're not. That means shit to me. What does that mean? What does that mean? No, my niggas, don't do that. Y'all niggas is on Google trying to pull straws and whatnot, and it don't work. It don't work. They had a machine behind them. Somebody talking about it was successful at that time. You bird ass. What time is it? It's 12 o'clock. It's midnight where I am. Like, what time of the day do some of you niggas wake up, man? Because I'm pointing out that it was successful. It was a success that we did not need. We could have used them flopping. Like, there's a lot of niggas that flop. We could have used NWA flopping on that quote unquote that album that came out. We could have used it as a flop, but did it flop? No, it sold about 2 million. That shit went super viral. Then Tupac at the same time, right? Do your homework. Do your due diligence. What is Tupac comes out with Strictly for My Niggas and Tupacalypse. Now, if you read the discography, him and NWA are dropping around the same times. Okay? But Tupac's albums, right? Brenda's Got a Baby, They Got Me Trapped, right? All of these artists around that time had to have socially political songs on their album. You could not come out with an album and none of that shit had street consciousness or consciousness. The first album that fully came out with all ignorant shit was that NWA album. Not the first one. Keep in mind. Don't get lost in. I'm slowing it down for niggas and I'm trying my best. Not the first one. The album with Express Yourself, Fuck the Police, Straight Outta Compton. That is the album with Ice Cube on it. That's not the NWA that I'm talking about. That NWA was the Public Enemy of the West Coast. That's not the NWA that we're talking about. That's not the NWA that motherfucking Special Ed was talking about. That's not them. But you got to explain yourself to people who wasn't there. If you was there, you know what the fuck he's talking about. But you got to meticulously break it down for this internet generation because these motherfuckers watched the movie and they thinking that everything that they saw in the movie, Dr. Dre was a thug in the movie. Dr. Dre was fighting men in the movie. Do you know that Dr. Dre was beating up women in real life? He's not a fucking thug. He grabs his ankles. That the movie made this nigga look like he was tough. And everybody knows, it's just that we being nice to you niggas, but everybody knows that homie been switching sides. Okay? And he beat up D Barnes. He beat up Michelle A. He beat a few women up. He's the nigga that was pouring the 40 ounce. This is before Dame Dash did the shit on Big Pimpin' pouring the champagne. It's Dr. Dre disrespecting the fucking sister pouring a 4. Do you know you know what it smells like when a 40 ounce dries up on your ass? I mean, you could spill 40 on your sneakers and walk in the crib and the whole crib is funky, nigga. Imagine somebody pouring 40 ounce on a bitch, on a weave and shit. You know? Yes, I'm talking about the world's biggest dick. I'm talking about the NWA without Ice Cube. Let's be very clear. Okay? Be very specific with me. Be very clear. Not Ice Cube's NWA. Ice Cube's NWA is Public Enemy of the West Coast. They were okay with us. We didn't have no discrepancies. Even with that gangster shit that they was kicking, we was like, talk your shit, my nigga. But that shit that came to us after he left and Jerry Heller really took over creativity control and Jimmy Iovine and them was helming the project and they were telling certain people what to say and what not to say. I don't even think DOC was writing for them at that time because that's after the accident. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's the big sellout. That's the fuckery and that's the fuck shit. And LA, New York, down south, Texas, and other places, they're still suffering from that dysfunction. They still suffering from that shit. Niggas is out here. Niggas wasn't talking about gang banging like that before. Niggas wasn't talking about riding. You know, all of that bastards of the party. And you know how our people was originally, the Bloods was originally formed because they was like the offshoots of the Black Panthers and whatnot. Right? We was okay with shit like that. We understood where that came from. And we was like, ride out, my niggas. We supported all of that. But when boys, and now keep in mind, music is a soundtrack. Right? Because I'm trying to break down a multi-million-dollar operation, right? That was handed down, there was basically that descended from some of the highest ranks. Because crack cocaine came down from the highest ranks. Crack cocaine precedes NWA. Crack cocaine and all of that is the primer. It's what primed the walls, right? So these niggas could come and paint that shit with this graffiti, because when you add music to lifestyle, you make it a lifestyle. You understand? So a wise man would utilize these formulas and reverse engineer it for betterment, right? You could take all of these things and reverse engineer it and fix your communities the same way that they destroyed your communities almost overnight, right? Yeah, fuck what Drake said. Almost overnight, right? So when they came with the movies, right? Let's keep this in mind. The music is the soundtrack, but the movies was the visuals. So the two strongest movies coming out around that same time of us being introduced to this new music and whatnot is two of the quote unquote biggest programmers. These are coming of age movies, right? But these coming of age movies was not everybody's reality at the time. This is another one that y'all might not realize, and you should know. Everybody in your neighborhood wasn't tough back in the days. Everybody in your neighborhood wasn't a drug dealer back in the days. Everybody in your neighborhood didn't have face tats back in the days. Everybody in your hood wasn't tatted up back in the days. Everybody wasn't a quote unquote killer back in the days. Boys in the Hood came first. Boys in the Hood is a cinematic masterpiece, right? Done by John Singleton. Blew us the fuck away in New York City. We walked out of that movie theater crying, right? We walked out of that movie theater wanting to be like Doughboy, motherfucking. We walked out of that movie theater crying about Ricky getting shot. That was very impactful as a movie. Way more impactful than Colors. Colors, well, this is the Trinity, it's the trifecta, or the trilogy and whatnot. Colors is the beginning. Okay? Yeah, Juice, I'm going to talk about Juice in a minute too. Because Juice took niggas from the posses, because in New York we had crews and posse. We didn't have gangs, but we had posses. We started with gangs, then it became crews, and then it turned into posses. After Juice came out, that created the one-man army or the lone wolf. That's what created niggas who was killing niggas, you know what I mean? Killing a mans in them. That's the mentality that gave birth to the Alpo Rich Porter situation, where niggas from inside the crew began snaking each other. That's what Juice really co-signed, and it turned a lot of niggas who wanted that juice or that rep into these killers that they became. And these niggas is coming home now doing podcasts. You know, they found peace in Islam and shit. But yeah, that's what it was doing to niggas. So for the East Coast, we had New Jack City and we had Juice. Now, New Jack City is where niggas basically started wanting to mimic Nino Brown. Shout out to Freaky Cuz. He said he called himself Nino Brown. Yeah, shout out to him. Right? But Juice, New Jack City made niggas want to sell crack. Right? New Jack City made niggas want to sell crack. And New Jack City made everybody want to take over a building and turn it into the Carter. Right? So you got niggas turning cribs into bandos and stuff like that. But New Jack City made niggas want to become Nino Brown, a gang, the head of an organization of crack dealers, right? So this is where you start getting the rise in crack crews and whatnot. You know, this is when you got the 50 boys. This is when you got niggas coming up and they want to be drug dealing crews. Because prior to that, when we had posses and whatnot, we were robbers. Okay, we were not selling drugs like that. It might be one or two drug dealers in the crew. But everybody in the crew wasn't a fucking drug dealer. Everybody in the crew wasn't a big Willie. Everybody in the crew wasn't having aspirations to be a motherfucking drug dealer. They put a name and a face to a drug dealer called Nino Brown. Right? But prior to that, when we was watching Menace to Society and we was watching him cook up and whatnot, that's what made niggas on the West Coast and other places down south, Midwest, East Coast, that's what made them want to start saying, you know what? I want to sell crack. You know what I mean? I think I could do it. I think I'm going to be the best crack dealer out there. I'm going to be Nino Brown. Right? But prior to that, what Menace to Society did, right? Because like I said, Boys in the Hood is a cinematic masterpiece. I can't really shit on the movies. I could just give you a factual breakdown on how it programmed us. I mean, it is what it is. Like, the shit programmed us. It was effective in what it was meant to do. I don't think John Singleton hates black people. I don't think John Singleton is in the Illuminati. I don't think John Singleton, necessarily thought that his movie was going to be negatively impactful to our race, right? But eventually, that's kind of what happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, truth be told, that's kind of what happened. Like, niggas was like, they wasn't trying to become Furious Styles. They wasn't trying to be Sharif. They wasn't trying to kick it and be fucking Trey, you know what I mean? And get out the car when it was time to go spin. They wanted to be Ice Cube, MC8, and everybody that was out there drilling shit, right? Then, Menace to Society came. Now, nothing is fucking with Menace to Society. As a matter of fact, me, Black Dot, and KT the Archer degree did a whole lecture called NWA Decoded, my niggas. Come on. We did it when the movie came out. We broke that shit down. We got a whole fucking 5-hour lecture called NWA Decoded. Who remembers that from the Sarnetta days? You know what I'm talking about? Who remembers that from the Sarnetta days? In NWA Decoded, when I was breaking down my part, I broke down Menace to Society frame for frame. I showed you the beginning of the movie shows the young boy, which was Kane, watching his father, Samuel Jackson, right, catch a body. The end of the movie shows the young boy who was Jada Pinkett's son, right, watching Kane get bodied in a drive-by. The same drive-by that all of the drillers are doing now. You remember how he was sitting out remember the drive-by, the last scene in Minutes where they was laying out the car. Two Tech 9s, 2 guns out of the driver's side, and then the niggas riding shotgun sitting up. That's how they killing niggas now in the hood with the drillers and whatnot. That's how they doing their drive-bys. But anyway, the movie showed you the cycle, right? The perpetual cycle. The movie Menace to Society is 2 twins that did this. The Hughes brothers. I think they might be CIA. That's why Ice Cube fucked one of them up. They might be the police. I don't know. I'm just saying. Because the way that movie was put together, That was that movie is heavy on the programming. Heavy on the I watched niggas turn into old dog overnight. I watched niggas in New York start wearing khakis and whatnot. Them niggas went full old dog. I'm talking about Merc and shit. They was on a body count. They was racking shit up, bro. They was racking shit up for real, for real. You feel me? So the mixture of Bishop, the mixture of Old Dog, the mixture of Doughboy, and the mixture of, there was another character. And you know all of this comes from Superfly and Scarface. Those are the original shits that made our parents turn into cokeheads, which eventually become crackheads, come into bank robbers, and all of that. Oh, their president comes. You know? I remember the impact of their president and whatnot. But, oh yeah, Shotters. You know, all of these movies that come out afterwards. Shotters, Dead Prez, Blow. You know, all of that nigga shit that comes, that we all gravitate to. But the original trilogy, South Central, motherfucking Minister Society, and Boys in the Hood. So the soundtrack now is the NWA shit, and then all of that other shit that starts popping up out there and whatnot on the West Coast. So motherfuckers is like, yo, I'm thugging, I'm fully thugging it. You know what I mean? I'm selling crack, I'm gang banging, I'm pimping these hoes, I don't want no girlfriends. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And keep in mind, Snoop Dogg didn't even come on the scene yet. Right? Snoop Dogg, when I'm talking about NWA, I'm not even getting to Doggy Style. I'm not even getting to bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. I'm not even getting, Snoop Dogg is not even fucking thought of. Snoop Dogg is in the goddamn dog kennel at this point. But then how did Snoop Dogg come on the scene? The undercover, 187 on the undercover cop, right? So these niggas come in, these niggas wouldn't even think about rapping like that right now. You ask Snoop Dogg to rap, he never, they don't, he don't, when he go on tour, he don't want to rap that song. These little young niggas is coming out, they got your children hypnotized and whatnot. Hey, them niggas couldn't come out with Fuck the Police or 187 on an undercover cop, deep cover. Them niggas ain't built like that. You know what I'm talking about? They apologizing to the police. These niggas got Meg Thee Stallion shaky knees and whatnot around the police. These bird ass, bitch ass, soft ass, emo ass niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas ain't built like that. They don't got it in them. They don't even know how to rhyme. They don't even know how to put the fucking 16 together to come at the pigs and whatnot. But yeah, that's how they duped us. They coming out with these West Coast niggas riding on the Oakland energy, riding on the Panther energy, riding on the Huey energy, riding on the Rebellion energy. They coming out, they first shits that they come out with, Razcast, Nature of the Threat. Fast forward, he's like, I don't even want to perform that song no more. He's scared. Ice Cube come out. He's super revolutionary. Now he on apology tours. He don't want to talk about it. He just doing West Side shit. He don't reflect on that revolutionary shit no more. Dr. Dre comes out, brings Snoop out. Undercover, deep cover on an undercover cop. He's cause he wasn't hot like that. That's when he had the record label. After niggas dissed him, after he got ran the fuck up off the other label, then he came out and he's trying to be revolutionary and he's throwing that shit at us. And we fell for that. NWA, fuck the police, we fell for that. But once niggas get in the building, once niggas use us to get in the door, once niggas use that revolutionary energy to get around these white folk, oh no. Then they turn into something completely different, my niggas. That's what I'm talking about. That's the fuck shit that I'm talking about. Y'all niggas wouldn't know about it because, like I said, you wasn't there. And you don't have cool enough friends. You know, you don't got niggas that'll give you the fucking rundown. You don't even take it personal. I don't expect you to. This shit has nothing to do with you. Because you wasn't there. You just getting this shit in hindsight. And it's not put together properly. The way that they're telling the history in hip hop is not. That's why when you see these podcasts and these interviews and these rappers are saying shit, you be like, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't read that. I didn't hear about that. Because where the fuck are you going to hear about it and read about it from? Nigga, it's 50 years. Nigga, it's a lot of fucking information going on. It's not, this shit is not, it's not one story. It's multiple stories. It's multiple stories. Yeah, the Chronic album is post NWA. Matter of fact, that's where he got his name buzzing on the Chronic album. He had to get, when he fell off was with Aftermath, and then he got back on with Eminem. Because that's when he got aired out for being a fucking ankle grabber by Ice Cube, and they ran that nigga the fuck up out of there, right up off of death row, right? Ran him and his eyeliner up out of there. Ran him and his lace front the fuck up out of there. Dr. Dre I'm talking about. And he laid low for a minute. And then he gave you niggas Aftermath. And he rolled out Eminem. And then he got, and niggas start lap dancing forever. Right? But he ain't 100. He ain't 100. You know? Tupac definitely exposed him. But Ice Cube exposed him before Tupac. Nobody want to talk about that. Homework assignment. Go and listen to No Vaseline from Ice Cube. Homework assignment. So you don't think that it's biased. Because, you know, niggas is like, because I'm from Brooklyn, I'm biased. Like, just say that I'm from Mars, my nigga. I'm not from no borough right now. I'm not biased. There's garbage niggas in New York. I call them out. There's fuckery in the New York history timeline. There's fuckery in the Southern timeline. There's fuckery in the Midwest timeline. There's fuckery in the West Coast timeline. I'm unbiased. I'm a Ghostbuster, my nigga. I'm just here to speak facts and give you niggas some nostalgia about shit that you probably never fucking knew because you wasn't around. That's all I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to stand on my truth. I don't pledge allegiance to nan nigga. Yeah, Common diss Ice Cube. That's a whole nother story. And Ice Cube then asked called a bitch in you. Common, the tree hugger, the nigga who was chewing on motherfucking cinnamon root sticks. Yeah, he bodied that nigga. He put Ice Cube in a box. You know? So there was beefs back then. Did I see the pic of Dr. Dre wearing a silver jumpsuit and silver boots? Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, this nigga was coming outside snatched. Looking like he was going to the Renaissance tour with all that silver on. This Dr. Dre I'm talking about. This Dr. Dre. And I ain't talking about Dr. Dre from your MTV Rap CD. You know? This is your mans in them that you spend all of that money for them headphones. That nigga looking like a fucking a Renaissance backup dancer. You know? That nigga sweet. You know what I'm talking about? You know? Sweeter than bear meat. But you didn't hear it from me, though. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't hear it from me. I'm just saying. That's what I heard. You know? Yeah, the Wrecking Crew. Lorenzo and them. You know what I mean? So, there's a lot of shit that has happened in the culture that gets glossed over because this is a gloss over culture. Nobody gets pounded out. Nobody is getting packed out. Nobody is getting, nah. And there's so much shit that has happened over the years that has not been talked about, that has not been addressed, that has not been just, niggas don't give it to, they not giving it to you raw. They putting foundation on this shit. They dressing it up. They putting lipstick on a pig. Why? I don't know. Because they pledging allegiance. A lot of these niggas have allegiance to other niggas. They got allegiance to a coast. What kind of dumb shit is that? I don't know. I'm too grown to have an allegiance to a coast. I don't own the East Coast. You know what I'm talking about? I don't own the East Coast. I don't give a fuck. You know? But facts is facts. Facts is facts. And I was around for a lot of shit. And for the shit that I wasn't around for, I'm willing to be a student and listen to a brother or a sister break it down for me. Like I sit at Black Dot's feet when he starts talking to history and I listen. I'm not trying to interrupt and be like, but what had happened? I wasn't there. So I'm willing to hear what the fuck happened so I could paint my picture in my mind and put certain things together. You know? I'm in the South right now. Niggas don't know. I was in Atlanta in 1997. Where the fuck were you at? That's the $1 million question. When I was mobbing in Atlanta in 97, even for you Atlanta niggas to be running around with your overalls on and everything, chewing on your fucking your straw hat, wearing your straw hat with your overall. Where the fuck was you at when we was in your city turning up, nigga? Huh? When we brought Polo and Gucci and Louis and dressed you niggas up. Where was you at? You know what I'm talking about? Nigga trying to school somebody. We help civilize niggas. Fuck out of here with that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we got you niggas out of your Jabos in New Orleans as well. We got you niggas up out of them Reeboks, out of them Parasucos, nigga. Out of them fucking, put them Jabos up, you embarrassing us. Put you niggas in tight jeans. You know what I mean? Some designer. You know what I'm talking about? Got you niggas looking right. But I could joke about my New York niggas looking crazy too. You know what I mean? Niggas in New York was struggling. Everybody wasn't fly. Everybody who could not wear polo. You couldn't wear polo in New York. Niggas would take it from you. You remember that? You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, they don't talk about that. They running around wearing what they want to wear these days. You couldn't even wear polo. Even the socks. Niggas would see socks. Wait, that's polo? That's a horse on them socks? Yo, take those off. They would strip you in front of your mama. So, we lived in a very dark period. We lived in a very tumultuous time. Remember, 1990, New York is the murder capital of the world, right? New York is the murder capital in 1990. But the music don't reflect that. It's the crack. It's the crack. It's the fact that niggas went from fighting to shooting now. Because the Jamaicans, the Shower Posse and all of them, they came from Jamaica with the Uzis. This is CIA. Shower Posse was working with Ciega, who was CIA. So the CIA, right? The same CIA that was working with Rick Ross on the West Coast, that CIA was bringing Jamaicans to Brooklyn with suitcases full of cocaine and Uzis, 9mm, you know, Manchesters and all of that. And you know, we don't got no gun laws in New York. The gun law, yeah, we got gun laws. We can't have guns in New York. We're not like down south. We always had that. And they brought the killing. We was fighters in New York. Niggas are fighting, stabbing, everything. Niggas are knuckle up. They had good knuckle game, but Jamaicans don't knuckle up. Them niggas are soccer players. They kick and stab and shoot. You find a Jamaican nigga that fights. I watched damn near every UFC fight. I done tapped into Floyd Mayweather, Golden Boy production. I ain't meet a Jamaican boxer yet. I ain't meet one yet. I don't even think they exist. You know what I'm talking about? Them niggas will, they professional kickboxers. And they brought the hammers with them. So they raised the body count and made us the murder capital, right? So their version, all right, well, keep it a buck with you. Our version of real gang music was dance hall, Gundalero dance hall music. That was our murder music. That was our NBA YoungBoy murder music back then. Is Lennox Lewis, that nigga's Jamaican or he Jamaican? Is he really Jamaican though, or he one of them UK niggas with an accent? Anyway, he may be the exception. You know what I mean? That's the nigga that beat Mike Tyson. Yeah, fuck that nigga. You don't talk about. Fuck out of here. Anyway, that's what it was. They raised the murder count. But we was influenced by the gunman Jamaican shit. Because they came with the music and the action. To keep it a buck with you. Like, they came with a soundtrack for killing niggas. You know what I'm talking about? If anybody remember. They came on some old Screwface shit. They came with the gun talk. And had music to go with it. And had fashion and everything. The fucking tank top with the holes in it. And the travel fox and all of that. Yeah, they came with everything. They came with the whole package. They came with food. Them niggas brought curry with them. Plantains and fucking, callaloo. Them niggas came with the fucking travel fox. The British Knights. The fucking tank tops with the holes in it. And they brought Bounty Killer, motherfucking Ninja, Super Cat, all of the Gundoleros. Remember, Jamaican niggas are born, they raised on spaghetti westerns and kung fu movies back in those days. You understand? These niggas came to New York thinking that they was John Wayne. And the crack or the cocaine gave them the opportunity to touch money that they never touched in their fucking life. So they was sending barrels of shit back to Jamaica. And they was like, oh, these niggas is Rockefeller over there. Like imagine. Imagine. Yeah, we had posses. We had posses. We didn't have gangs. We had posses. So yeah, them niggas was leveling up. And they was killing shit left and right. Then the Dominicans had it on lockdown and they was killing shit. You know what I mean? So the FBA niggas, the Americans that was in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights and Brownsville and all of that. Because that's where the down south niggas was concentrated. Flatbush, Crown Heights had the island niggas, the 90s, the East Flatbush. They had the niggas Flossie, what they call it, Flossie now. Over by South Shore and all of that, Canarsie and everything. That was the niggas from the islands and whatnot. That's the Jamaicans, that's the Panamanians, that's the Trinidadians, that's the Grenadians, that's the GT niggas. And all of them niggas was with that work. They was with that. They was with whatever the fuck you was with. Everybody was out for $1. Some of them became boosters. Some of them became stick-up kids. Some of them became killers, like Money and Violence, right? Shout out to my my nigga Mo, who is the writer on that. He's the actor Rafe on that. You're gonna see that on Tubi, right? That's a real fucking story. You know what I'm talking about? What part had the Southern niggas? Well, what I mean by the Southern Negroes is their parents were from down south. That's Bed-Stuy, nigga. That's Brownsville. That's East New York. That's heavy FBA. It's mixed up now. But in those days, that's Mike Tyson, Brownsville. That nigga, Biggie and Jay-Z and all of them, that's Bed-Stuy. Right? Crown Heights, that was mixed up, You had Empire Skating Ring. Rest in peace to Kiki and Raisin and them. They was a little, that's when you had, Crown Heights that's where the merger was happening. That's the melting pot. But Flatbush was the ultimate melting pot of all of these island cultures and whatnot. Biggie is Jamaican. Busta Rhymes is Jamaican. These are all Jamaican niggas who was listening to gunman lyrics, gunman talk, Gundalero talk, Badman talk, murder music. But it was also it was also bad guy music, also like wind up music, like, get you some action type of music. You know what I'm talking about? Because we was at every hooky party because that was the only place that you could get hooked up at. You know what I'm saying? Niggas wasn't getting action like that when we was young. God bless these little young niggas. Y'all got Sexy Red and all of the, everybody is a thought now. It wasn't like that when we was young. Where my ladies at? Can you co-sign that? Shit wasn't going the way that it's going these days. Shit changed when Little Kim and them came in 93. They raised the stocks on thottery and whatnot. But when I was trying to come up, trying to get some neck, my nigga, I was trying to get some sloppy toppy. It was a lot of work, bro. It was a lot of work, I'm trying to tell you. So we would go to all of the Jamaican parties because that's where you could get a good wine from a nice little ting and ting. You know what I mean? You could get a good wine. You might get lucky and catch a bubble and whatnot. Because these girls walking around with these BBLs and whatnot, I be looking at my 3-year-old son and I'm like, little nigga, you experienced some shit that I didn't, we didn't see bubbles when I was 3 years old and when I was a teenager. Like, nigga, we ain't see none of that shit. Like, what we thought was a bubble these days is a bee sting. You understand? It's a bee sting. You know what I mean? And we was on that. I told niggas this before. When I was coming up, we didn't have 1,000 baddies. We didn't have 100 baddies. We had 2 baddies and they was rotated through all of the boroughs. You understand what I'm saying to you? The baddie count was so limited that Mike Tyson might pull up to get her, but then a nigga from Jodeci is pulling up too. And fucking Albie Shaw's walking down the block to get her. Like, niggas literally had to share the baddies because it was it was only 5 of them in New York back in the day. Deadass. You know what I'm saying? It was girls, but it wasn't baddies. That's my problem with Sexy Red. Well, if you sexy, then what the fuck is she? That's my thing. I'm not mad at her. Do what you do, but why are you Sexy Red? Why you couldn't be Basic Red? Because if you sexy, then what the fuck is she? What do I call her now? Because y'all don't look alike. You look like Young Thug got granted a bond, and he's wearing one of them dresses that he used to wear in a fucking weave. That's who you looking like. So that's my thing with her. Yeah, we created Sexy Red. She's one of the crack babies. Okay, I get it. Why the fuck is she calling herself sexy though? That's just my whole thing. Like, you could be average red, and I'll fuck with you. You could be basic red, and I could get it. But I'm standing up for the sexy bitches. I'm saying, no, you can't take that. They don't have much. You know what I'm saying? You know that the sexy bitches is basic. They don't know a lot of shit. They don't have much but they looks. And you taking that from them? So if you're sexy, then what are they? That's just what that's my discrepancy. You know, rest in peace to all the sexy bitches, because what the fuck? Y'all got moved out of the way by a basic bitch. A super basic bitch. A raw dog queen. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Did you see her skincare? Did you see her fucking skin? Come on now. I'm going to stop calling her basic red, man. Fuck that. I refuse to acknowledge sexy in her. No disrespect. And you niggas about to put your cape on. I can see you in the comments. No, Red, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Listen. Listen. Okay? Listen. Well, call me the one-eyed man, nigga. I'm Charleston White. I'm the one-eyed man in the land of the blind. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, take one of my eyes out, nigga. Fuck out of here. Yeah, her name should be Dirty Red. Because when I lived in Miami, Luke had Freaky Red. Who remember Freaky Red? Huh? You niggas don't remember Freaky Red? She was snatching niggas' soul right on stage. You know what I'm talking about? She was snatching niggas' soul on stage. She's the original Sexy Red. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, give the sexy back, beloved. You know what I'm talking about? Get that back, because that's not you. That's not you. And I'm not judging you. I'm smudging you, but I'm not judging you. But you know, shit. You are infringing upon the copyrights, the trademark of the fucking word and the definition of sexy, bitch. Did nobody tell you? You know what I'm talking about? Did no one tell you? I think gonorrhea get into her head. You know? It's getting to her head. But yeah, I mean, there was baddies in New York. But it wasn't baddies like that, though. I'm talking about, you know, it got to a point where I was in the tunnel and I was in the club and it was like, it was just too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the baddies came out of nowhere. I think Lil' Kim literally terraformed basic bitches overnight and turned them into goddesses, like drop dead fucking sex vixens. Where the fuck did the vixens come from? I didn't go to high school with vixens, nigga. I wasn't in grade school with vixens. We wasn't in regular school with vixens. Where did they come from? All of the shorties in my school that was considered to be like that, they was like a size 4. You feel me? Peace, Kimmy. They was like a size 4. Where did this other shit come from? Not on my watch. You know what I mean? It just came out of nowhere. So nobody can tell me about the power of the music. The music literally terraforms people. The music literally brings forth a certain type of people. It can create whole new fucking expressions of people through the music. Our people are chameleon-like. Our people are moldable. We're malleable, right? Look how many women magically started looking like the Kardashian phenotype. Where the fuck does that come from? That shit never really existed prior to us looking at this chick with the fucking unibrow. You know what I mean? With the hairy nose. Like Kim Kardashian had hair on her nose when she first came out. Okay? She did. She's from where Hasbulla is from, nigga. This bitch is from the mountains of Caucasus. She's from where Hasbulla and them niggas is from. She's a hairy one. Okay? She's a fucking hairy one. And she's the fucking, she's like the pinnacle of beauty for y'all. Shit crazy. She literally the whole family got unibrows. The whole family is hairy. They from the Caucasus Mountains. Dead ass. You know? Dead ass. So how did all of these girls from LA, how the fuck do they become cloned? They not even Armenian, and these bitches that you got Taylor Swift looking chicks from Oregon looking like they from Armenia. Like, what the fuck is going on, fam? You know what I mean? People literally turning into other people. This is some clone shit for real, for real. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's scary outside. It's scary outside. You know? But once again, that's not for me to talk about. Because I'm going to stay in my place. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to stay in my place. I ain't going to be on the internet talking about how women look and all of that stuff. But I'm just giving you niggas the truth. The fucking influx of bad bitches, or what they call baddies. That's a new phenomenon. We had a roundaway girls. We had PYTs called Pretty Young Things. You know what I'm talking about? But you had to know somebody who knew them. You couldn't just run into them on the streets like that, nigga. Apollonia and fucking Vanity, they didn't have no clones. Just think about that. Apollonia and Vanity, arguably two of the baddest baddies in the 80s, they didn't have no clones. Right? Because you didn't have Nip and Tuck, nigga. You didn't have Dr. Miami back then. Because they would have been, why didn't nobody clone Lisa in the Cult Jam? Am I on to something? Yeah, nigga. Lisa. Yeah. Lisa. She was like the only one, because I'm a Scorpio, so even as a young nigga, my TV screen, I think my iPhone is bigger than my old TV from when I was a young nigga. But we used to be all up in the screen trying to see tits and ass in them videos. Like, does she got a bubble or not? Rosie Perez. Why nobody cloned her? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like, we was on it, bro. We used to watch WHT, Nightcap, and everything. We some horny young niggas, bro. We was trying to find something. That's why BET Uncut, nigga, that was like God sent to us. We was like, God, thank you. You know what I'm saying? You making it right for us. You know what I mean? Giving us some flesh. You know what I'm saying? I come from the generation where we couldn't listen to rap in our house. Do you understand how old a nigga is? That's where I come. I come from a generation because niggas talking about NWA. Nigga, I couldn't listen to NWA in the house. How about that? Huh? How about that would have got a nigga punished? How about that? How about they would have took the phone away? There was the TV that was the size of my phone. You know, niggas had the little phone. They had the TV with the fucking antenna, with the hanger in that shit, with the aluminum foil around it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to watch that for the day if I was listening to gangster rap in the house. Yeah, we had fucking struggles, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? We had struggles when we was young. Oh yeah, I used to watch Benny Hill. You know what I mean? I used to watch Monty Python and Benny Hill. He was a horny ass Englishman. You know? But yeah, niggas was on Rosie Perez. Remember that scene in Do the Right Thing, the opening scene with the ice? Yeah, my niggas. Niggas was on Rosie Perez. She was heavily sought after in hoods that I frequented. But we didn't see it wasn't no celebrities pulling up. We ain't had no OnlyFans, nigga. They ain't had no celebrities pulling up in the hood. Shit. So we had a lot of basic shit going on. We made the best of it. You know what I'm talking about? These little kids don't know that y'all in a whole new dimension. Y'all in a whole new fucking dimension, bro. Y'all are in a whole new world. Enjoy that shit. Don't complain. We made with what the fuck we had, and we made it this far. And to be honest with you, the world is in abundance now. The world is in abundance now. The things that we didn't have, it's available. And some of the things that we did have is not available, but we're not holding that to our hearts and whatnot. But yeah, we don't die, we multiply. We don't die, we multiply. And our people have multiplied over the years. Some of our negative traits have multiplied, and some of our positive traits have multiplied. I could definitely say beauty has multiplied amongst black women. Y'all have become more beautiful, more stunning in your looks and whatnot. You begin to emulate these poetry, the poetic lyrics and whatnot of the Bonita Applebooms and the Around the Way Girls and the PYTs and all that. That's what I've seen. I could speak about some of the negative things that have multiplied, but we already know what that is. And I don't have to waste time on that, because what you speak, you give life to. I'll speak to the fact that, the principle of the divine earth and whatnot. I've seen that blossom and bloom throughout the years. Fuck looking at a car crash. Nah, I don't want to pay attention to the car crash. Everybody's looking at the car wreck. I want to pay attention to something more positive. And that would be the fact that not just the women, but I look at old pictures on the internet. I look at like old photography and whatnot. And somebody said the women are more fake. Once again, I don't want to necessarily point to the negatives of things and whatnot. I am, me personally, I could speak from my perspective. I'm highly favored to be around women who are natural. You know what I'm saying? When I go outside, I attract women who are not fake. You know what I mean? And the places that I frequent and places that I go, I was at the Revolt World, or what was formerly known as the Revolt Summit, just on Saturday and Sunday, the strong end. And I got critiques about the shit that I was experiencing. I was in a Who Cloned Tyrone movie. For real. Because everybody looked like a clone of somebody that's on World Star Hip Hop or some shit at that event. Everybody looked cloned. It was crazy. But outside of my critiques, I seen beautiful black people, right? Very vibrant, very quote unquote enthusiastic about themselves. They were, people was on their job. They was on their grind. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers was, they was standing in their greatness. Even if they look like clones of, all of the rappers and shit like that. But it is what it is. I know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of know what to expect. I would like to say that I have my own style. I could go places and don't see clones of myself. When I start seeing people that look like me, I'm just going to stop going to those places because I'm not into shit like that. I don't want to be in a place where motherfuckers is like copying my style and my swag and and shit that I do. You know what I mean? Like, I like originality. I like originality. So the people that I saw at the Revolt World that was standing in their originality, and the people that I saw that was standing in their greatness and whatnot, I definitely salute them. But I saw a lot of people that's strong in, man. I definitely did. And but I was drawing, right? When I walk through some shit, I can have blinders on. I know what my frequency looks like. You know what I mean? I could walk through a sea of 1,000 people and stop and see the person that I've been looking for, or the one who been looking for me. Because motherfuckers was stopping me left and right to take pictures and to congratulate us on the success, And it was a great feeling and everything, you know what I'm talking about? But it was I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time. I saw my bro Gravy. Shout out to Gravy. I saw Groovy Lou. I saw Loon, a.k.a. Amir. I saw Knowledge to God from Hip Hop is Real. Mad people who I needed to see. I saw them at the Revolt. I saw Choke No Joke. I wanted to see Choke and chop it up with him. He told me some shit about the Tupac murder investigation. Man oh man. Man oh fucking man. Had me fucked up. Blew my mind. You know what I mean? So it's not Keefy D. And it's not who you think it is. You know what I'm talking about? It's somebody else that killed Tupac. But tap in with Choke No Joke because he got the receipts and he's gonna lay it out. He's gonna roll it out. But it's just good to see people doing what the fuck they were sent here to do. Yeah, Groovy Lou, that's my guy, man. That's really my dude. He's such a legend, and a lot of people don't even know how instrumental he is in hip hop. You feel me? The Revolt, like Diddy, yeah. The Diddy shit, Revolt World. It was in Atlanta. You feel me? It was in Atlanta. I had got invited there because I was at the Invest Fest. So somebody was like, pull up, you know what I mean? And then I wanted to see Shaka Bars and 19 Keys anyway, because they were talking. So yeah, I pulled up. You know what I mean? And this year, it was a lot better than last year. And I was at the place that they had it was Tyler Perry's old movie studio, which is called Pangea now. And that was very important because I got me and Blue Pill was in a meeting 3 months ago at that same studio. But it was important that our people got to see what that shit looks like to be on a movie studio. And I think the strike just ended at midnight and whatnot. So now these niggas gonna go back to Hollywood to start telling more slave stories and depicting black people as fucking bums and criminals. So shout out to all of you bird ass niggas in Hollywood. They got your contracts. And if you continue to do shit with that agenda, that rainbow agenda, and you continue to make movies that's gonna make our people look like subservient fuck niggas and whatnot, then you're gonna get shut down again. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? Good thing that they got their job back. Hopefully they'll get some more money on the go around and stop getting peanuts and whatnot. And, hopefully they negotiate it for some good prices. But we don't need Hollywood anymore. We don't need Hollywood. They've had it. They had their shot. They had their chance. And, for all of my directors and my producers and my actors and my talent that's out there, kudos to y'all, but please don't identify with that fucking machine and whatnot, because that is not you personally. Okay, you're working there, you have opportunities there, but you could build your own shit. Case in point, we were on studios that have 5 sound stages, right? This property that Tyler Perry used to own with 5 sound stages. On one of those sound stages, when we went to our meeting, they showed us that they could film 3 movies on one sound stage. So when I saw all of that, I was like, yeah, Atlanta, Black Hollywood. You don't need Hollywood. This nigga, man, I was watching Tubi the other night. Niggas ain't making the movies from Tubi in Hollywood, I promise you. That ain't no Hollywood productions. I was watching movies on YouTube. That's not Hollywood production. That's not Hollywood. They didn't go to fucking a Hollywood studio. They didn't go to Paramount. They didn't go to 20th Century Fox to make those movies. They didn't go to sit on fucking Harvey Weinstein's lap on his casting couch to make those movies. You don't need them. You just want to be with them because, of course, they're going to pay like they weigh. But at the end of the day, we need our own shit. They sold that fucking studio for $3 million in 2020. Nigga, that's stripper money. In Atlanta, that's stripper money. The strippers making money like that. $3 million, nigga? That's one good days of fucking trapping in all of Atlanta. You could collect $3 million by just going to all of the fucking gambling spots in the strip clubs and taking a fucking tax out of there. Just a tax. Just a 3% tax from all of the fucking clubs, the hookah bars, the strip clubs, and the gambling spots. And you could have went and bought that fucking studio, and you niggas could have bossed up, and you could have told Hollywood to kiss your ass. Don't even come to Atlanta. You could get tax credits and all kind of shit. But the game, obviously, is to be sold because niggas have not bought it. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers don't got the game. They not using it the right way. And they keep recycling the same shit. And I'm a little perturbed. I'm a little perturbed. The fact that they were not let our people depict. I'm not pro Hollywood because I can't walk into a studio and have them produce a movie to show me in my highest form. We have not cracked through that ceiling yet. We have not broken through that ceiling. They will not depict Philip Moreland as a black god on a 100-inch fucking screen, on a celluloid screen. They will not put me on a silver screen to show me as a superhero unless I have some type of agenda tied to me. I have to have a white savior or some kind of dumb shit in my storyline. But they'll show me as a crackhead. They'll show me as a gangbanger. They'll show me as a bum. They'll show me as a blade. They'll show me as all of these things. But they won't show me nothing to show me, right, in a depiction of myself that will break the spell that they put on me from when I was 0 to 7. They won't do that. They won't do that. Yeah, don't let them do that to you, Kimmy. You know, don't let them hoodwink you into playing into that agenda. We got enough people that's already willing to sell their souls. We don't need a good soul such as yours to get put in that pot. Because once they put you in that pot, it's very hard to get out of them fucking mason jars once they put you in them jars. That's where they put. They put niggas up in them hills and them caves and whatnot in Hollywood. They got niggas in them jars and them dungeons in Hollywood. You know? You can see it in the people. They lifeless. Some of the people that they got their teeth sunken into, they lifeless. You know? Yeah, how long we been waiting for a Black Wall Street, a Taharka movie? Now, I remember they saying the Moors, they had a Moors epic movie coming. Then they had The Last King, The Last Pharaoh, with Will Smith and Taharka, King Pharaoh Taharka. No, nigga. That was all fucking lies and deceit, niggas. Because we ain't seen none of that. But we seen a whole bunch of other shit come out. All lies. All fucking gas. You know? All gas. So, I'm done. I've spoken enough about, I got that shit off my chest, and I'm willing to answer any question. What happened with the Sabi doc? Shit. Probably the same thing that happened to the motherfucking, the Friday sequel. You know? They shelved it. You know? You seen what happened with that nigga? Let's stop acting like we didn't see what happened. He got flogged publicly. You know what I mean? They stripped his dignity from him and they flogged him. And he went on an apology tour. So he had to shelf that movie because if you think they don't have a problem, you think if Big Pharma, they don't want Dr. Sebi's information or his document. They scrubbed the whole fucking internet or YouTube of Dr. Sebi. They do not want his documentary to reach the minds of our people, especially with them rolling out another pandemic. So I'll be back on YouTube. My channel is coming back in a few days. They have me down and out. But hey, it gave me some time to relax because, I ain't with this internet shit. You know what I mean? I'm really lit in the streets, nigga. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, it is what it is. If there's any questions involving the history of this rap shit, you could inbox me. I treat, I give energy back the same way it's given. Come with good energy, that's what I'm giving you back. You come with some funky ass energy, then I definitely will meet your energy. I'll match that shit. You know what I'm talking about? I have no problem. You feel me? I might even just let ChatGPT talk to you niggas. I won't even stoop to that level. I'll just go to ChatGPT. I'll go to Demon GPT and just prompt some real ignorant shit and send that to you. But thank you all. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Shout out to all of my Patreons. The link is in my bio. Anybody want to sign up to the Patreon? On the Patreon, starting in October, we are going to begin a 4-week course with Ross Ben, right? The writer, Ross Ben is the writer of Free Your Mounds and Your Mind Will Follow. He is also the author of Rocks of All Ages, which is an encyclopedia for anybody that collects sacred stones and precious metals. And he's also an author of a book on the Dogons. We're going to be doing a 4-week intensive masterclass with him. And then we're also going to be doing a 4-week AI course with your brother Red Pill, myself. I'm going to be rolling out 40 AIs and a mule. And that's basically a 4-week master course on how to use this shit to get a fucking bag. I don't understand what y'all be doing out here, but y'all be letting them people scare you to death on this AI shit when there's millions to be made. So don't miss out on the motherfucking opportunity. All right, that's the Patreon. And with that being said, love and light. Red Opals, the official video, dropping this week, I think. I'm going to drop it this week, maybe. Just as soon as my YouTube come back, we're going to premiere the Red Opals video. Y'all stay in touch with the God. Love and light. You know what I'm talking about? Peace and love. Stay dangerous. Stay prayed up. You know what I mean? And stay tapped in. Peace.